Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names can never hurt me. It's just not name-calling anymore, or a spat on the playground. It has become cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is just one of the unattended consequences of our wired world. Bullying that used to take place on the playground has graduated to media devices, and now children and young people even feel threatened in their own homes. In this podcast, we are going to take a look at what makes cyberbullying different than regular bullying, how to decide if your young person might be a victim of cyberbullying, and what steps can be taken to curtail the attacks on your child. Bullying has entered the digital age. The impulses behind it are the same, but the effect is magnified. In the past, the materials of bullying would have been whispered, shouted, or passed around. Now, with a few clicks, a photo, video, or a conversation can be shared with hundreds via email, or millions through a website, online profile, or blog posting, states Amanda Lenhart of the Pew Research Center. According to StopBullying.gov, cyberbullying might include posting nasty pictures or messages about others on blogs, websites, or social media like Facebook, pretending to be someone else using a fake profile, spreading rumors on social networks, or harassing text messages or emails. So what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying can happen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and reach kids even when they are alone. It can happen anytime, day or night. Cyberbullying messages and images can be posted anonymously and distributed quickly to a worldwide audience. It can be difficult and sometimes impossible to trace the sources of the messages. Deleting inappropriate or harassing messages, texts, and pictures is extremely difficult after they have been posted or sent. An additional factor is the fact that young people seem to be inseparable from their cell phones. This allows for young people to be perpetual targets. Someone who is bullied severely in school may use the internet as a forum to vent his or her frustrations by targeting others online, acting as a cyberbully themselves. Bullies in cyberspace don't have to be the biggest kid in the schoolyard. It is those most adept or loose with their words who can hurt others. Bullying can affect everyone, those who are bullied, those who bully, and those who witness it. Bullying is linked to many negative outcomes, including impacts on mental health, substance abuse, and suicide. Suicide is the most devastating consequence. Sarah Lynn Butler, a 7th grader from Hardy, Arkansas, committed suicide on September 26, 2009. Sarah, who had just been voted queen of her upcoming fall festival, was teased at school and later on received bullying messages on her MySpace page. Sarah's mother said she often checked that page to make sure there weren't any appropriate things being sent or received, and she noticed that she was getting some bad messages about rumors at school saying that she was a slut, and talked to her about it. But Sarah removed her from her list of friends and she could no longer read the page. On the morning of her suicide, Sarah stayed home while her family was out and logged on to her MySpace page. The last message she read said that she was easily forgotten and that she was just a stupid little naive girl and nobody. Kenneth Weishen, a gay high school freshman from Paulina, Iowa, took his own life after being bullied by classmates at school and online, and with death threats by phone. The bullying began with an anti-gay face group created by Kenneth's classmates. His mother, Jeannie Chambers, said she knew her son was being harassed and said that her son told her, "Mom, you don't know what it's like to be hated." Cases of young kids committing suicide as a consequence of cyberbullying and sexting are increasingly coming to the public's attention. Despite the potential damage of cyberbullying, it is alarmingly common among adolescents and teens. According to cyberbullying statistics from the iSafe Foundation, over half of adolescents and teens have been bullied online, and about the same number have engaged in cyberbullying. More than 1 in 3 young people have experienced threats online. Over 25% of adolescents and teens have been bullied repeatedly through their cell phones or the internet. And well over half of young people do not tell their parents when the cyberbullying occurs. So what should a parent look for? Dr. Sue Agustin, a clinical psychologist, makes these suggestions.
Some of the warning signs for cyberbullying are similar to clues you would look for other at-risk behaviors. A child who seems more withdrawn, upset, depressed, who is avoiding social activities, doesn't want to go to school. Again, some of the preliminary research Dr. Kowalski is doing is showing that there's a higher rate of absenteeism among some categories of students who are cyberbullied. So those are some things you would look for where a child is withdrawing. But you don't want to ignore the obvious signs either. Just a child who, after they've been on the computer or received some text messages, seems very upset or angry. And so parents need to be attuned to that. Or if they're hiding the screen when they're coming in the room and trying to be a little secretive about it, to say, what's going on? You seem upset. What's happened? And you may need to go back and check a little behind them in terms of viewing the history to see, what just happened. I could tell my child was upset. But you do want to make sure that those lines of communication are open, that your child feels like they can come to you if they're having a problem with children targeting them, and that they know that you're someone who's going to try to help them solve the problem rather than get upset and angry at them.
First of all, the young person could avoid it by simply avoiding the site or chat room where the cyberbullying is taking place. Young people can change their email addresses. Some email addresses can now filter messages, and cell phone numbers can be screened. You might think that your own child is a cyberbully. You should make clear rules about appropriate online behavior and have consequences such as losing accounts or computer time if they break the rules. You can work with schools to help stop cyberbullying and work with some other parents to try and prevent it. Make sure your child knows that he or she can come to you if there is a problem online. In some cases, it's possible to get law enforcement involved, especially if an adult becomes involved and brings the level of offense to cyber stalking or cyber harassment. It is vital that your child comes to you when cyberbullying takes place. For additional information about cyberbullying, check the websites provided at the end of this podcast. Cyberbullying can happen to any young person in any online environment. Social media is not the problem. Technology is not the problem. The problem lies with the issues of peer conflict, immaturity, insecurity, ethics, socio-emotional dysfunctions, and behavioral issues that foster instances of online bullying among individuals. Cyberbullying is something we must all continue to target so that we can make further headway in safeguarding, equipping, and empowering today's youth as they navigate the troubled waters of being a tween and a teen.